That's normal.
You can't see us?
No, not at all.
So the camera,
I can, Lonnie.
all right, something's up with you then.
I can see you guys. Can you guys hear me? This is Andre.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
I
can hear you.
see you, Andre. I'm gonna leave and come back in.
All right, see ya.
And we probably need, she needs to read the disclaimer still. Do we still need to do that? Or-
Well, thanks for now.
No, should we have scrolling off the three of you guys?
Yes.
Is there anybody else in the lobby? Dan, you see anybody? There's nobody in the lobby, right?
No, I think once somebody from the town starts the meeting, most people get brought in.
All right. Kim, you back?
Yeah, and I can see you now.
Okay, great. All right, so this is our first meeting back in person. It's been a year and a half, I guess, right? It's been quite some time. So definitely exciting, definitely nice to have this. We'll work out these little glitches we have moving forward. But welcome everybody that came, welcome everybody from home.
Oh, what's up?
Do we have any citizens statements and petitions? Any correspondence that we've received? Got a lot of stuff here. What's, that's before those. So no correspondence.
No.
Okay, thanks. Consider appointment of the human resource officer. Kim, go ahead.
Well, Lonnie, I was gonna recommend that you take Andre first. He's here for the beer and wine license. Figured that'd be quick and easy, and that way he didn't have to stick around.
Thank you, Kim.
The gentleman from Algonquin.
Yeah, we can do that.
6A.
Yeah, so, we have an application for a special license for a one-day special wine and malt beverage license over at 28 Hastings Street.
Yes, sir.
But
Yeah, I move to approve a one-day special wine and malt beverage license for Barbell's 88th event on September 26th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 28 Hastings Street here in Mendon.
all right, I'll step down in a second. Any discussion? Andre, what do you got going on?
Hey, what's going on, guys? So I just opened up a gym up here in 28 Hastings Street not too long ago. I also work with special needs athletes, and we're doing a first annual fundraiser for my teams. We're just doing a truck pull. We're teams of 12. We're just going to tie them up to a truck and see how far we can pull it. So we're going to have a little bit of a car show, some fire trucks, ice cream trucks, food trucks. So you guys are more than welcome to come by the day of. Bring your families if you guys are around. Like I said, it's just going to be beer and wine from 10 to 2. We're going to have coffee in the morning. So nothing crazy. This is my first time doing this, so it's still a huge learning experience for me. So I just bear with me here. And that's all we got going on.
Anybody got anything else? All those in favor?
Morale, aye.
Tenio, aye. All right, good luck. If I got some time, I'll swing by.
All right. See you guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Take it.
And consider a request from Algonquin Gas to work Monday through Friday, 7 to 7, starting on the 20th of September.
Maybe I can just.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mr. William Simmons, Bill Simmons introduced himself before the meeting. Going back in July, when they sent an email, I had talked to the chief, police chief, about, the times and realized apparently we didn't need to vote on it, but in the meantime, he called yesterday. I got a call from our state rep, trying to get them here tonight because they want to get started right away. And they're here now. I don't think we really need to vote it, but they wanted to talk about
Yeah, sorry you guys come in.
I apologize.
Yeah, I don't know that there's really, we don't generally approve times. We don't have a real set of times. We kind of just have a standard of 7 to 7 in town. We hope that everybody gets, certain permits may come with them. But there was no stipulation here permits. So, yeah, as far as I'm concerned, work away.
Excellent. And you did tell us that you've already spoken to the abutters and got the okay from some of them anyways.
We have a total of 4 abutters, and the 2 that are the closest are on Thayer Road, number 2 and number 10. And they both were, they understood the hours, they understand the project. this is Sharon here, was saying it looks like a carnival out there, because there's always people everywhere. We've been out there for, a couple months doing some work, and they're okay with it.
Yeah, I'm sure they don't get much action down that end of the street.
And the power corridor there is a couple 100 feet wide, so there's nobody on that far side. It's been going pretty smooth. My calls are stable.
Excellent. Yeah, no, I know that the fire chief was happy to hear it was getting done because they were getting calls and gas smells here and there. So that's great news. Thanks for fixing that up.
Well, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. All right. So, okay. So Kim, we'll go back to the appointment for the Human Resources Officer.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, I thought you were making the motion and then I was going to talk. Sorry. Hold on.
Oh. Yeah, we can.
Okay. So I am very pleased tonight to be recommending a candidate to you for our Human Resource Officer position. As you know, our Human Resource Benefits Coordinator left a few months ago, and so I have been tasked with trying to fill all of these vacancies that we have. And so we, before she left, and then with the addition of the finance director, we sort of looked at, figuring out the best location for certain functionalities within the building. And so knowing that many of these things, these tasks that these jobs do cross over between finance and HR. And so this candidate is incredible. She's got over 30 years of experience in HR and benefits. She has a master's degree in business. She has a bachelor's degree in management and economics, and she also has a background in finance. She is, we are lucky to get her because she is making the choice to leave the corporate world and sort of take on different priorities in her life. And so she's looking for something to do to sort of, still use her area of expertise, and serve the community and pursue what she wants now that, sort of in the twilight of her career. And so I've attached her resume. You can look through the different jobs that she's had. I mean, it's extensive. Both the chief and I interviewed her this past Monday, and we had many candidates, 2 really good candidates, but no one as qualified and as capable as this one. And so I am very pleased to recommend her to you for a position at 25 hours a week.
This is 25 hours a week in the on-site, not remote, right?
It's a combination based upon need. A previous HR person was working Monday through Wednesday, 9 to 2. My only requirement was that she give adequate notice about hours that she would be in the office so that she could meet in person with staff or retirees as needed for paperwork changes and things like that. So I would anticipate she'll have certain hours set during the week and other things she'll be able to do remotely.
Move to appoint Shirley Hines to the position of Human Resources Officer, 25 hours per week at a rate of $26.85 per hour pending successful background check.
I'll step down a second. Any discussion?
Is this a benefited position now?
Kim?
It will be benefit eligible, but at this time the candidate is declined benefits.
Okay.
And I'm assuming 25 hours still considered to be part-time?
It's full-time at 25 hours.
And the previous one was
18.
part.
Yes,
And this is-
part-time 18.
And this is combining some of the work from the previous finance clerk?
Well, without getting too far into the details, about what will happen with the other position, after, and the finance director is also online because that's a separate position entirely, but we're not certain, based upon her experience in the office, what her actual needs are for a clerk in that office. And so we really think that potentially one position at 25 hours could serve both jobs based upon what she's experienced so far as the finance director and what her needs are and what I know my needs to be big picture for the organization. So our hope is that this position will actually combine the two successfully, and that we will not need a finance clerk in the future.
So I guess my point is that's because we're increasing the hours in this position, but that's offset by, right now you don't have a clerk and you have an appointed one and you don't think that you're going to need.
We had no, I had already begun doing the preliminary interviews for the finance clerk. And so I'm already midway in that process. And this candidate actually was interested in both positions. And so the plan would be, if she goes on to 25 hours, we would halt hiring of that position at this time with no plan to fund it. So there would be a savings of about $8,800.
Okay, so if we appoint her, you're gonna stop the process of hiring a clerk, at least for
Yes.
now.
I'm going to pause it for now, correct? And we'll reevaluate in the future once the finance director determines what the need actually is within the office.
But the intention is that any of that need that was filled by the part-time financial clerk before will be filled by this person.
Correct. And by existing staff within the office. As you may recall, the finance director's hours were reduced to 30, but the assistant treasurer collector's position was increased to 37 and a half. So there is actually some additional counter coverage right now.
I don't have anything else.
Did you have anything? Did you hand up?
I think I had another question, but maybe that was not the place.
Okay. Anybody else for the discussion? All in favor?
We're all in.
Tenio, aye. Consider updated precincting map.
Yeah, so this is the last one, you'll see this. This is the final one that we have to vote on tonight, and then send back to the state. So you should have 3 documents, a copy of the map, a copy of the legal description, which they started for me, but I had to basically look at the map and outline the precinct lines. So it's 2 paragraphs outlining precinct 1 and precinct 2. They call that the legal description. And then there's the block report, which basically tells the population breakdown for each census block that's in town. And it's broken up. The first half of the document is precinct 1, second one is precinct 2. The state generated that for me, and they also generated the map for me, because we don't have those resources. So basically, we are just accepting this, and I will send it to the state tomorrow. And it will be done and effective as of December 31st.
Get used to it, buddy.
I got the big map if you want to look at the big map.
What is top 2 race?
I don't know. So, I
Okay.
mean, some of them are obvious,
Yeah.
but they must be a category that doesn't,
What is white, black, Asian, other,
yeah,
NHPI?
yeah, they didn't give me a description of what those meant.
What, oh, yeah, I hate it.
And then Hispanic and not Hispanic.
Yep.
But I don't know what population 2 race is.
Okay. Yeah, I have 0 problem with it. I wouldn't even.
It's just based on population.
No, yeah, no, I wouldn't even
We were
have.
23 people over.
Are you kidding me?
I was like, can we just kick 23 people out of town? So for the next 10 years, we will be a 2 precinct town.
Okay.
But
And
it's still one voting location. Nothing's changed.
that is a discussion for the warrant, because I'll have to ask for money to supply that precinct with the voting machine.
Right, it's gonna have its own voting machine.
Correct, and, I'll need signage and stanchions to separate, but everybody's gonna stay at, Misco.
I guess my point is, there's no requirement to have two separate voting.
There is no requirement for that. If we can put them in one, and there are a lot of towns that have 8 precincts in one location.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if they can fit them, if they have the location.
The town at the Portuguese Club.
Yep. So I will have to also, I haven't figured out all the money yet, but I will have to notify the people that are going to precinct 2 that they are now precinct 2. I don't have to notify the other people because they're gonna stay in the same precinct.
Okay.
So, but that will come up in this discussions when we do the warrant.
Is there a potential that because there's going to be 2 precincts, you'll need more staff?
Yes, some rules changed about how much staff I need, but at least at the first 1 or 2 elections, I'm gonna want extra people to direct me. And I'm gonna try and buy nice signage that makes it really clear. But yeah, so at the beginning, well, definitely, I'm only gonna need one warden. I don't have to, I can share a warden between 2 precincts. But I will need 4 check-in people. And I'll need 2 clerks at the back next to the ballot box. We don't have checkout anymore, so it kind of, it evened out because they let us get rid of checkout.
My only thing was that, you always have those 2 people, and depending on what street you live on, you went to either one or the other. And now it'll be divided up even further, because first it'll be which precinct, and then it will still be divided by street as well.
Yes, but because I use the computers now to check people in, it doesn't matter which street you are, you can go to anybody. So it will matter which precinct, though, you have to check in the right location. But the streets, it won't matter anymore. But there will be some confusion because the line that goes down Route 16, the people on the south side of Route 16 are in precinct 2, but the north side is in precinct 1.
On different sides of the street.
It has to be that, because the lines have to be like a tangible, it has to be either a body of water or a street or something like that. It has to be like that. So you can't say
You can't just draw a line through the town.
Right, you can't draw a line through the town. So it has to be one side of the street, only on the edges.
Yep.
That's that problem. But a lot of our edges are other towns. And that's it.
And so you just need us to vote on it?
I need you to vote on it, and then, are we gonna have wet signatures or
I
not?
left it in, though.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll order them to sign. Excuse me.
Make a motion to approve the updated re-precincting map as presented.
second discussion, all in favor?
Raleigh, aye.
Tenio, aye.
You,
Thank you, Ellen.
and I'll take that.
Seems like a lot of work for 23 people, right?
Anybody?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Discuss cruiser revolving account. Chief?
A little bit about this today. We've never had an account set up for using cruises on details. So if a company, National Grid, whoever requests a cruiser, we've always just used the cruiser. We've also used a cruiser for the entire length of the detail, even though they're requesting the cruiser. So it's something that I wanted to look into for a while, but recently I've had time to actually look into it. We did a research of all the towns around us. They're everywhere. Some charge nothing, like Upton. Some charge, I think, $35 an hour, like Bellingham, extra. So I want to come up with a rate, and it would be to establish. Right now, we use the F-150 that we have for details. We don't use it on a regular patrol basis, but I don't want to get rid of the fleet because we use it to tow the trailers and different things. So I want at least it to be used. It's 20 years old and still has 20,000 miles on it. But it needs maintenance. And if we're mostly using it for details on a regular basis, I don't think it's fair to take from the taxpayers for my operating budget. So I would like to, if they're requesting a Verizon, whoever's requesting a cruiser to be there, to have an additional rate and set a revolving account and use as maintenance. I talked to Eric, the accountant, about it, He said it would have to be set up as a revolving account, put on a special warrant, and dedicated basically just for cruiser maintenance, and even gas for the vehicle. Because I don't even know why the town should pay the gas for a detail, because it's an off-duty event, but it's through the town. The town gets 10% of the detail as it is to process, do the payroll, do everything, and cover any excess in case we have say someone doesn't pay the bill, and we can't collect it. That helps cover a deficit, so the town isn't held responsible for it. So the same way with this, I kind of would like to do what Bellingham, Northbridge are doing, and if, utility specifically wants a cruiser, we charge them a fee for it. So that's what this account would be set up for.
Kim? Do you have any input on that?
What?
On the revolving account?
Oh, I spoke to Dave about this. I told him to get in contact with Eric. I mean, it makes sense to me. I mean, it's like a small capital fund, right? Specifically for that use. And so I'm fine with it. It seemed like a lot of additional work, but if it's necessary.
If
So-
if I could just chime in, a long time ago, details in town, the way it worked is we actually billed the vendor, the person who hired the detail, and the officer didn't get paid until the bill came in. So that's when they set up the revolving account with the extra 10% to create a buffer so that you wouldn't have to make the person working the detail wait to get paid. And there's always been an option to charge for the cruiser. And I don't know why it was never instituted before, but
It was never implemented, and just as budgets get tighter, and
Good idea.
last year I spent $2,000 or $3,000 on that truck, and if we had 10 details that were requested, and that would pay to keep the upkeep of the truck. As the budget's getting tighter, we're looking for 1,000 here, we're looking for 1,000 here. That's really something that the town's paying for that they're really not getting the true use of. Verizon, National Grid, all the companies are getting the use out of it.
So, what are you suggesting? What's your suggestion for a rating?
The rate I don't have yet, I want to look at all of them in detail. Like I said, they're anywhere from, I think, $10, $25 an hour, $35 an hour. What I want to do is, because obviously this is pretty, I put a little bit of thought into it, but I want to go back to actually the maintenance records over the next week or so and find out what it cost me on an average, say, in the past 5 years to maintain that truck. And that would kind of give me an idea even in the future. Say we don't use that truck anymore. We keep, instead of trading a car and they give us nothing, they give us 500, 1,000. Instead of trading a car, maybe we keep those trading cars and make that a detail car. So I want to kind of try to figure out like an older vehicle or the maintenance run a year and then see how many cruiser requests we get. If we get 10, maybe I'll divide it by there and kind of see where we're at. The idea isn't not to make money on it, but just to cover the cost of the utilities that want to use the cruiser.
But it also makes sense though, when you have an officer, instead of having their own truck or their own vehicle at a detail site, now you actually have a marked cruiser at that site. It makes it safer for them, and I think it would add that much more presence in the community.
Because my first step would be to see if you guys are even interested in setting that up. And if we do set it up and we get it voted on, then we can set a rate.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with it.
So do you want a motion now to just proceed, or do you want to wait till you get the rate and then put the whole thing at once?
Well, I'd like to get on the warrant to do the revolving account, and then once it's approved after town meeting, then we set a rate. Because we can't do anything until we get the revolving account set.
What you want us to do is put it on, just take a vote to put it on the warrant,
To set up a revolving account.
and then by the date of the special town meeting, we'll set the rate and put all the details in place.
Yeah.
The costs in place.
Because I think you guys would always decide on the board would always decide the rate. So
Yes,
a
yes.
year from now, we want to change it because inflation, we change it.
You just need an article on the warrant to be, we can.
To be able to have the account and be able to do it.
Yeah, we'll definitely put a placeholder in. If we decide you need more time or whatever, we'll just put it in.
Yeah, I don't think I need more time. We can
Yeah.
at least get the account and we can set the rate whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
And even,
And I honestly, I don't know, do we have to make a motion to vote, or can we?
No.
Well, we vote the whole warrant.
Yeah, we do the whole one together. We'll put an article on
So
this.
we don't even take a vote further down.
No, no.
okay, all right, great, appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, we're already executive session. It's crazy.
Except for the last one.
What's that?
This makes up for the last.
Yeah. I move to go into executive session. I move to go into executive session. Purpose number 3, Mass General Law, Chapter 38, Section 21A, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining with men in Town Hall Union, Local 272, Men in Highway Department, Union Local 272, Mass Coalition Police Union, AFL-CIO, local executive session to negotiate with non-union personnel, police lieutenant. Roll call vote needed. Will reconvene only to adjourn.
No, we're gonna consider them.
That is not true.
We're gonna reconvene.
We are going to reconvene.
Oh, okay, we're gonna continue the meeting after executive session. I'm sorry. You guys tricked me. That's not normally the statement. I thought you forgot to type it in. We will reconvene for two more items after the executive session, so please stay tuned.
Second.
All in favor? Tenio, aye. Hey, you're really gonna test this one.
Yeah, this is gonna be tricky.
So how are you doing with this now? You gonna?
So let's stop the recording. Did you start it? Do you want to
I
stop?
started, I can stop.
Okay, let's go ahead and stop the recording.
We'll log out.
I'm just gonna leave.
Don't you?
Okay, we're back in session. So we're gonna skip over the item number 8, the MOA. And consider an appointment for the part-time lieutenant.
For this motion, are we doing the hours? How many hours now?
I think we just set that only briefly, because by law, we can only do so many, he can only do so many hours, so he can't surpass that.
Make a motion to appoint Donald Blanchett as lieutenant for the police department. Part-time lieutenant is rated 43.44 per hour.
Step down a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Morale, aye?
Tenio, aye.
Thank you very much.
Welcome back, Lieutenant Blanchett.
Thank you.
Only 6 feet.
Is that you guys were? I'll let it slide. I'll let it slide this time.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for coming up.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Kevin.
Hi, Donnie.
Take a
Lonnie,
tape outside when you get up there.
Lonnie, I think you should just restate, since we weren't recording, that we're gonna table highway until the next meeting. So. Can you hear me?
Yeah, just look at myself, it's transcribing everything.
Oh, hold on. What the heck?
No,
is
which
that?
is fine.
No, that's weird.
Well, yeah, but Laura was thinking that would be great because then she could just cut and paste later instead of taking notes.
No, we like notes.
Yeah. Condensed notes.
I'll restate, we're going to table the MOA for the Men and Highway Department until next week, till next Thursday's meeting. Yep. Thank you, everyone. Second? Okay. Tenio, aye. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for coming. I think it went well for our first time back. See you at the next one. Hi, Tim.
Have a good.
Bye. I think we should do something about that yellow cord on